Hello everyone, StarZRJ here, so I tip the scales with another game of Neverwinter Nights 2. Alright, we're starting Act 2.
Can we go now?
By ending Act 1. Ending Act 1.
Hey, welcome back! Glad to see you've all returned, and in one piece, no less.
Wait, but I actually discovered I have an extra piece inside.
Huh? What do you mean? Inside the wound on your chest. That means you've been carrying around the shard almost your entire life. We had no idea.
I had no idea how to scar.
Notice the stumble in his words. Your uncle has been keeping secrets, I think.
Silence, Bishop. I don't know if I'm the best one to be telling you this. But if you've got one of those shards in you, I think you've earned the right to hear everything.
I want to hear the whole story.
Dagon probably already told you, but when you were an infant, West Harbor was the site of a battle, a terrible battle. The King of Shadows himself led an army of demons against the Neverwinter army, which had gathered at the village. West Harbor was struck suddenly, without warning. There was panic, confusion, villagers fleeing every which way to escape the battle. But Dagon's wife Shayla and your mother Esmeril did not. They stayed behind to save you. As demons and mage fire rained upon the village, they fought to reach your crib. By the time Dagon even realized they were missing, it was too late. He could only watch from a distance as the village was consumed in the battle.
But wait, I was told something different.
It wasn't my decision to keep what happened to your mother from you, and my brother would be furious I told you. I guess he thought it would be too much for you. In any case, when the few that remained returned to the village, no one was alive. Except you. Your mother was there. So much blood, and you were clutched in her bosom. A deep wound in your chest. She tried to shield you, but the shard must have cut through her and into you. No one knew how you survived, but you did, and your wound sealed itself within days, leaving the scar that you still bear. But if that wound was due to the shard that pierced you, then that raises many questions, and I'm afraid I'm just all out of answers.
Thank you.
It's been with me for a long time. I am glad I could finally speak of it.
Why the long faces, you two? Somebody die? If so, sounds like a cause for celebration to me. Grobnar, you worthless half-man, strike up a tune before I strike you.
Of course, Sir Bishop. It so happens I have just the tune.
By the way, I've decided it would be in both our interests if I stay on with you.
Really?
Well, if I am welcome, then I will help myself to a fair share of adventure and danger. Traveling with you is the most fun I've had in years.
We don't need any more of your help.
Shut up.
Why don't you let our leader speak for herself, Paladin, without you speaking for her, huh?
No, there's no need, Bishop. I'm sorry for before, but you've done more than...
Oh, come now, Duncan, I still owe you. And what better way to make it up to you than watching your kin here? After all, a debt is a debt, all the way until the end. Isn't that right?
I hate to ask, but what happens now? I can't go back to my farm, ashes and all.
Why, can't you rebuild it?
Why? Because we need someone who's easy on the eyes. That's what I'm here for, I believe.
Yeah! Hell yeah!
If Shandra agrees to travel with us, the danger might be greater than within Neverwinter's walls, but that is not certain.
I think...
Oh, thanks.
I agree with our leader, and if you wish to travel with us, it is your right.
Well, thanks to you both, but...
No need to thank me, farm girl. Traveling with us is perhaps the worst decision you can make. Trust me.
If she's going to be with us, she'll need to do some catching up. We can't just keep on rescuing her all the time.
Rescuing me? I can rescue myself. Sometimes, when there's not too many lizard men or Githyanki. Well, I know enough to use a sword, and I can handle myself in a fight. I mean, I'm no spellcaster, but if you need an extra blade... I admit you've rescued me twice now. And if you're going to help teach me to survive these attacks, I accept. But there's some things you're going to have to accept, too. I don't like being left behind, because whenever you're out of my sight, suddenly all this trouble starts happening, and I'm really tired of it. So, look. I won't try to get in your way or anything, but I don't want us to part ways again. I've I've, well, lost too much already. You're not leaving me behind, all right?
No, I'm not. You have my, well, 2.
Then that's all I ask.
Yay! Free companion. Not really free. Well, she takes a companion slot. If you start with 3, she pretty much is the 4th slot.
So the farm girl's going to join our band. Good. We need someone to make up for the paladin, or at least to catch arrows if Grobnar's already dead. For now, I say we crack some of those kegs and drown the flagon in wine.
Yeah! Okay, that was Act 1 completed. Now it's time to start Act 2. And it starts off with loading. And then starts off with even more loading as they unload the module, load the module, and guess it's gonna be the throne room. Act 2. It's a lovely day until she came along.
Lord Nasher, forgive us. She said it could not wait.
It is a matter of some urgency, and there is little time. My lord, I come to you with...
You will bow to Lord Nasher.
Of course. I meant no disrespect, my lord.
Aren't you supposed to curtsy?
What brings you here, Torio? If there is some new dispute with Luskan, speak with the Trade Guild first, then...
Oh no, my lord. This matter concerns Neverwinter. There is a murderer loose in your city.
Murderer? And whom has this murderer killed?
An entire village lies dead, my lord.
Naval, have our scouts reported anything about...
The village was slaughtered, and now the murderer hides here within your walls. You must initiate a search at once.
Only one of us wears a crown. Yet you dare to give me orders within my halls?
I will do nothing until I confirm this village's destruction. Then, if I see fit, I will act. Do not test me on this.
Whatever pleases you, my lord. But I would act quickly, lest the murderer slip through your fingers. If that were to happen, I have no doubt there would be serious repercussions. I do not need to remind you of the extradition treaty.
Geez, that walk. It's like...
By every god and his mother, what a fool I was to ever sign anything bearing Luskan's seal.
I can have Torio detained, Lord Nasher.
No. She would not be so bold if there were not something to her claims. Dispatch scouts, Naval, and order the watch to search the city. I think it would be in our interest to find the killer before Luskan does.
If I may, my lord, I have someone well suited to aid in our search. An agent of ours, Sand. I think that he can help us find our true murderer, no matter how deep Luskan tries to hide him.
Sand? I recall that one. I thought he was our eyes, but not by choice.
In this matter, my lord, we may trust him implicitly. He takes a certain pleasure in bringing Luskan truths to light.
Very well. See to it, Naval, and make haste.
Sand. You know, that awesome guy. Yeah, that awesome guy. Apparently he works for the top dogs. Sweet. Can't wait to have him. Hi.
There you are.
How do you
I
mean?
am here because Luskan has accused you of murder. An entire village, no less. Have you heard of Ember?
A tiny village in Port Lass? Why, I've travelled through it, didn't slaughter it.
I've scraped things from my boot that I respect more than Luskan. But unless we find some means of clearing you of these charges, we will have to surrender you to them. We've signed a treaty with Luskan. They have the right to dispense low justice for any crimes committed on their soil. But I'm not turning over a loyal member of the Watch to some Luskan dog on this day or any other.
So how do I prove my innocence then?
Your guilt is preordained in a Luskan court. If you were a lord, knight, or even a squire, however, then matters would be different. You would be subject to high justice, and your trial would take place here in Neverwinter before Lord Nasher.
So, what are you talking about?
I need you to go see Sir Grayson, one of Lord Nasher's most trusted knights, and become his squire. I may also send, friend of mine to assist you. He has proven invaluable in such cases in the past. Mind you, the matter must still go to trial, and if you cannot prove your innocence, then you will face execution. For now, let us deal with what we can. See Sir Grayson at once at Captain Berlena's office. Pledging yourself to Neverwinter's service will give us time to counter these Luskan lies, and until you answer for these charges, the gates of the city will be barred to you. Seek out Grayson, but do not leave the city.
Alright. I'll do that.
No way in the hells will I let those Luskans get their hands on you.
But there's still something we can do, right? Even Naval said as much. All you have to do is pledge yourself to one of the knights and Luskan can't touch you.
And we're innocent, besides. I mean, the slaughter of an entire village? That's going too far, even by Luskan standards.
Is it? If you have something Luskan wants, they'd kill an entire city for it. They don't care. They attacked Neverwinter once, and even now they're sending fleets to attack Ruathim. Give them an excuse and you'll soon find Luskan blades at your gate.
Duncan, looks like we have a guest.
Oh, as if the day couldn't get any worse. What do you want, Sand?
I am here to help you. And your kin, actually.
Oh, really? And what's the price? If it's more than a half copper, you can see yourself out.
No, I seem to have been given an ultimatum, in fact. I have heard of your troubles with Luskan.
Word travels fast.
Know that if you are sent to Luskan, you will be killed.
Oh, oh really? I know that.
I realize you may find my sincerity difficult to believe, but allow me to act on your behalf. There are laws, and there is right and wrong. While I believe you are quick to take liberties with the law, I do not believe you are guilty of this. And if they should get a hold of you, you will be killed. I believe people should answer for their crimes, but it must be just.
Very well, what's the next step?
Sure. After all, a hedge wizard can't make things any worse. Maybe all that digging through books might prove useful.
If we need to burn down Luskan, then perhaps we shall seek you, Quara, but your ignorance will cause more damage here than you know. Luskan is not ruled by men, it is ruled by magic, by the masters of the towers, and if they have decided that you are to be delivered to them, then...
So, let them try.
Whatever spark of magic you think you have, you idiot girl, they will bleed from you by demon, spell, and curse until even your father won't be able to save you. And I suspect that what they seek may have consequence beyond you, beyond me, for much of the realms.
So what do you suggest? This sounds all ominous. Luskan wants me for something. Perhaps those shards. I'm thinking there was Torio.
Fortunately, becoming a squire is enough for our needs, and I believe you have already been told about someone who can help you. Sir Grayson, yes? Let me join with you. I have considerable experience with these matters, and foiling Luskan plots is something I relish.
Alright then. Alrighty then, so we have Sand joining our group, and looks like a party count has been reset. I'm gonna see how much time I have left. Okay, 13 minutes in. Well, after this, I'm actually gonna have to I'm gonna reset the party roster and I'm gonna reset the party roster and sell a whole lot of items. So yeah, I'm just gonna do this for the moment. Okay, I'll be right back. Alright, okay, so before I actually set out to I've updated the party limit, but before I set out, what I am going to do is bring Bishop along, take Clara off the party for a bit, take Nishka and Eleni. Yeah, I'm gonna put Clara back in. Just for the moment, because I think it's an event as soon as you leave. Nishka! Debug mode. 0. Alright. Nishka, there you are. You're hard as ever to track down. You're as hard to track down as ever. Well, with the network of informers you have, Tasha, I wouldn't have thought of finding it would be that hard. Maybe it is when you're as good as I am. So, you're back. Leldon told me. So, you and Leldon, you're... Oh yes, but that's old news, and he's better than ever. He's playing one last job before he retires as the greatest thief in Neverwinter's history. One last job? And greatest thief in Neverwinter? How did you think of that? Have you heard of the Collector? He has the most valuable collection of art, sculpture, and artifacts in Neverwinter. Leldon will take the best of the lot and will retire like a king and queen to Callumsham. That's why Leldon is the greatest thief ever and you'll be hanging by his coattails. Farewell, Nishka. Let's rob him before he does. Yay! Let's go after him, make him take some gold. Make some gold for him. Now, if I talk to Sand, before I head out, I'm going to cut the video again shortly after I sell all these items I got, but talk to Sand.
Yes?
What about your shop? You're out of your shop, I mean...
Don't worry, I have put Leomon's merchant elemental in my stead back at the shop.
A what?
It's difficult to explain, but trust me, you'll still be able to trade there if you wish, and use the alchemy workbench.
So yeah.
Very well. What answers do you seek?
Sand's part of the party, and he is awesome.
No problem at all. I certainly wouldn't wish...
Still there.
It's really not worth a cup of... Very well. What answers do you seek?
Always fail unless you build up enough influence with him. And, yeah.
Yes, what of it?
Yeah. You can ask him about the trial, what you think the progress is, but at the current moment, it's not a good idea to ask about the trial because there's there's not much progress made. But yes, there's a lot of items here, and I gotta unload it all. Alright, so I'll be back shortly. Again. Alright, so I just sold a whole lot of items, did a little bit of shopping, a little bit of enchanting. Bishop is now sporting a mithril breastplate, just like Laura is. Sans armor hasn't changed from his wizard robes. I ran out of money before I could enchant that, but I should give him that. Oh, I didn't actually give Bishop any ammunition to reinforce his bow with, because he's skilled with a bow. And I gave Shandra a breastplate as well, and 2 cold iron short swords. That's where all my money went. All my money went into buying those swords and enchanting them. So in the case of Bishop, he needs some arrows, so I'm gonna just give him a whole bunch of arrows. You can throw away and waste, and no, I'm not gonna buy fire arrows. But yeah, I'm just gonna buy a whole bunch of arrows and hope those are enough. They don't need to be any special arrows, just regular old, you know, shoot them in the face and fill them full of holes arrows. It's not gonna matter too much because I'm gonna become a noble. As you can see here, I can't actually leave the city until, you know, I get stuff done. And the bandit bounty class is never going to get done. So I'm going to smash this gate down, because why not? Yay! As you can see here, Black Lake is now open, but I want to get my name cleared as much as possible, so I'm going to, just... Before I engage in anything further, I'm going to go to this, see the Sir Grace in person and become a squire. Now, if you're playing as a Thieves Guild part, you'll also get the same thing going on, but the you'll be paired up with a knight who's not really good at being who doesn't really who thumbs his nose at the nobility. He's a cool guy, and I want to be his squire because he knows what's up. The guy I'm about to be paired up with is, you know, typical. Lieutenant, pleasure to see you. Assertive for my skills. These Neverwinter are greatly weakened by efforts at the docks. There's a group of people looking to purchase supplies. Can't let them purchase those supplies. We must stop them and soon. We can capture them by pretending to be a merchant. So we've got to go to Black Lake District and sell some goods. Prepare. Want to be recognised? They don't want to recognise you when all seem to know of your appearance as an arcane master composed of eldritch energy. What's in it for me? Right. So essentially I've got to do an undercover job, but that's not important. I've got to do this guy's job.
Blessings of Tyr be upon you. Sir Naval has told me of your predicament, and it so happens that I have need of a squire. This is unusual, to say the least. Usually prospective squires spend months, even years, proving themselves before they are permitted to enter the nobility. But Captain Brelena and Sir Naval both vouch for your character and your ability, and I have heard of your exploits in the city as well. Still, Count yourself lucky to avoid years of caring for my horse and scouring the rust from my arms and armor. Your need is great, so I'll take you as my charge.
Sweet. That's it, I'm your squire?
Not quite so simple as that, but years of service will be passed over in your case. I am Sir Grayson Corrit. My sword is sworn to Nasher, Neverwinter, and Tyr, and it falls to me to teach you chivalry, so that you will not dishonor me overmuch as your knight.
Cool. What do you want to teach me?
The Brotherhood of Knights is one bound by the ideals of chivalry and honor, and the same goes for sisters, of course. Without honor, a knight is nothing more than an animal with a sword. To be a knight is to lead a life of duty and responsibility. We are bound by a code that prescribes our every action, to be brave and valorous in battle against your enemies, to show no fear in their presence, to be just and righteous, to embody and uphold the laws of your lord and land, to be respectful to your enemies and kind to your fellows, to protect the weak and those who cannot defend themselves. All squires have these rules impressed upon them by rote and lash, but I suspect that you are mature enough to take the lesson without the cuffing.
Okay, but what if the laws of my lord and land require me to act righteously?
To serve your land is to act righteously. If your cause is noble, so too are the actions you take in its name.
I guess this guy's lawful neutral.
What wouldn't you do to see your home protected? To know that your loved ones are sleeping soundly each night?
Yeah, but the problem is that...
Remember that in becoming a squire, you take an oath to serve Neverwinter. See that your conscience doesn't guide you down the path to treason. Knowing the code of conduct is important for a knight or squire, but living by that code is paramount. To be a knight is also to live a life of service to your lord and realm. You will be expected to perform certain duties for the crown. Given your unique circumstance, these duties will be waiting for you after the trial. However, there is one observance that cannot be postponed. The vigil.
Uh-oh. What must I do?
Your vigil is a time for reflection and contemplation. It is a sacred tradition. All who would become squires spend a night in the solace glade. You must spend the night alone, of course. Most choose to reflect on their vows or to ask the blessing of their gods. On the next morning, I will welcome you into our brotherhood.
So yeah, there's when you're playing as the other knight is much more awesome than this twat. The other knight is much more awesome because I must teach you all the rules, and he just casually lists them off and then explains why they're all stupid. So to uphold to help the weak and defenseless, we are all weak and defenseless. Yeah, yada yada yada. And then he talks about how you have to take the vigil though, but if you take the vigil, you go there, but how'd you spend your vigil? Well, went to the vigil, then I found some nearby farmhouse. And then when you go to the vigil, he basically signs you off doing the same thing. He, sends you to the glade, and then he's like, all right, well, you have fun reflecting upon everything. I'm going back to that farmhouse over there.
Come then, I will lead you to the solace glade.
Yeah, the other guy was awesome. This guy is just your typical knight. You must have him. Like, if you're gonna be the good guy, you're gonna get the good person. You're not gonna get the awesome person. You're just gonna get the good person.
Quora yet lives. You swore to me the hostile would handle this.
We did, and we shall. I merely wished you to be here when the ritual took place, so you can see it for yourself. Have you brought what I asked?
Yes. Here is a hair from one of the pillows she slept on at the academy. And here is a thread from one of her robes she left behind as well.
Excellent. Yes, these will do. I can begin at once. But I shall also need a drop of blood from you to power this ritual.
Here's the thing. When you're doing all this voodoo stuff, why do you need a thread from the clothes they were wearing? Did they get really intimate with the clothes, hug it all around, put their skin cells everywhere all over it, and it wasn't washed off or anything? Is that why you need a thread? Is that why you need a thread from the robes? Because, it's got the skin cells or whatever on it? I don't get it. I just don't get that part. Is he's got? I mean, I can understand the hair because the hair contains traces of DNA, but a thread from the cloves. What are you gonna do with a thread from the cloves? You're gonna create a cloth golem, aren't you? You know, we don't want a cloth golem. We want an actual golem or something. We want to create some kind of voodoo ritual, and you're gonna make a cloth golem out of it? Ugh.
My blood? Why?
Only from the blood of one strengthened by justice can justice be done.
Very well, but this stinks of necromancy.
Nothing of the sort. Necromancy is so obvious. No subtlety. This is something much different. I am calling an elemental, fueled by Quara herself.
And it's made of cloth. Because you got to thread from her robes. Duh.
A reflection, if you will. Drawing from the same fire, the same blood. I think she will find this Animus Elemental more than a match for her.
Unless you're an assassin.
When will it be sent after her?
Patience, my lord. Where she walks, this elemental shall soon find its way there.
Yeah, an Animus Elemental.
Every knight and squire of Neverwinter has touched this sacred ground. To Helm, to Tempest, to Torm, and to Tyr have prayers been given. Think on that. Think on the fellowship you wish to join. Perhaps clear your mind and think of nothing. I will return in the morning, and you will greet the new day as my squire.
I think I'll take a nap instead.
I doubt you would be the first, but I would be disappointed in you. Now, you have much to consider, much that you should consider, and I will greet you in the morning. Indeed, I take my leave of you and your thoughts.
The other guy would go to the farmhouse. Shortly afterwards,
Are you here? I can barely see anything out here.
Hollywood darkness. Oh, hey, Shandra. What are you doing out here? Something wrong?
Look, the way trouble follows you, there's no way I'd let you come out here alone.
Well, yeah, it's a formality.
Well, I'm glad you offered, because I wasn't leaving anyway. But I like that you didn't put up much of a fight. Plus, I wanted to see if any of the gods would want to inflict further punishment on you.
Yeah. She's sadistic.
Hey, did you hear something?
I didn't expect the girl to be here. We'll spare her the grief of crying over your corpse, and kill her as well.
I'm right here, you know. Why don't you try?
The odds are unfair. Chandra, back off to even things up.
Cocky, aren't you? We'll humble you quick enough.
Yeah. I have great confidence in, you. Die. You. Charge! Yeah. Chandra's attack is more of a, Chandra's attack is more of a lightweight dexterity-based kind of build. She uses short swords to do damage, and I gave her dual weapons because if she's gonna use a sword and all that, she's gonna use short swords. Might as well go with the small weapons, and might as well have two of them. So I'm gonna focus her character build around dual wielding stuff because dual wielding is awesome. Yeah, take that, assassin leader. Yeah.
Solace Glade, huh? Talk about a poor name choice. Those men came out of nowhere. Don't you ever spend one night in peace?
It's rare, trust me.
I believe that. Hey, the leader there. He's got a ring on his finger. It's a circle with teeth or spikes.
Or daggers.
Could be, I suppose. It's hard to tell with all the blood. Here, you take the ring. I don't want to hold on to it. Look, maybe I better slip away before your knight returns. I don't want you getting into any trouble.
Thanks for the best. That's for the best. Thanks for the help, Chandra.
Sure. Actually, in some ways, it was kind of fun. Yeah. Good luck. And hopefully when we see each other again, you'll be Neverwinter's newest squire.
Yeah, murdering
What
people.
happened?
I cut myself with my sword.
4 fool swords, it looks like. Tell me true, what happened here?
The other guy wouldn't give a crap. Like, as soon as I mentioned that part, you'd be like, oh yeah, who cares?
No doubt they caught wind of our plan, and saw this as their last chance to judge you as they wished. Either way, their efforts have failed, and that is all that matters. I take you as my squire, and bind you to the service of the throne of Neverwinter. This title also admits you into the nobility. For truly, there can be no charge nobler than protecting one's home from those who would threaten it. Come, Nasher should be informed of your change in station.
Hold on, I gotta loot these guys. I mean, yeah, gotta loot these guys before the dawn. Wow, they've even brought venom with them from giant bees. Bees! Alright, let's go to Lord Nasher. Hello.
Ah, Sir Grayson. A pleasure to see you.
Again, if you're the other guy would be like, oh, it's you. I don't really see you around the courts. And then he explained,
It is my honor to serve, my lord.
What brings you here? You look troubled.
My lord, it has come to my attention that this woman stands accused of murder, and is to be given over to Luskan for trial.
What you have heard is true. Is that why you are here?
I am here because this woman is my squire, and must be tried by your hand and the will of the gods alone.
What is this nonsense? This knight has no squire.
I would choose your words carefully, Ambassador, lest I think you are accusing one of my knights of speaking lies.
I only hear the words of a man shielding a murderer.
Then let the accused speak. What say you? Does my knight speak truly? Are you his squire?
Alright. Not by choice, but I had nothing else.
And so even the murderer of Ember denies the truth of this, and shows this mockery of a court for what it is. There is no justice in this, but I was a fool to expect justice in Neverwinter.
Yeah, don't really care.
Seeing that gloating smile strip from her face pleases me more than you will know. But this has bought only a little more time. Time we cannot afford to waste. We must find the truth of what happened at Ember, and quickly. But you cannot do so here. You have my leave to depart Neverwinter, provided you give your word to return for the trial.
Alright, of course.
Travel to Port Last. Someone there can guide you to Ember. Then return with whatever you can that will prove your innocence.
It would be wise to speak to Hieromos in Port Last. He is said to be a fair man and vigilant of his people and the lands around. We'll see.
You are to be congratulated on joining the service of Neverwinter and its knights. Serve Neverwinter, and it will serve you. For now, go to Port Last. It should be marked upon your map. Once there, see about visiting Ember as well. Keep your resolve. I am confident you will expose the truth of this matter soon enough. And after this trial, I will have more duties for you.
Alright, so, yeah. That's the, that was the, becoming a squire. And now I have to have to solve a murder case. So, but, you know, I guess that'll be for another time. But yes, the murder case is, basically a big kind of amount of filler. I might have to dedicate an entire video to the to the actual trial itself. Oh, Laura Smith, welcome to Blacklake District, ma'am. I'm Sergeant Brockenburn, and it's finally a pleasure to meet you. You find there's a quieter war than what you used to think. My men are honest, not protect no brides, tolerate no disorder. Is lockdown still in effect? Nope. Murder has escaped. More watchmen's in here. Alright, so yeah, the Blacklake District. It's a it's now open, but I'll explore that and everything else next time. I've been Stars RJ, and I've tipped the scales in the favor of Neverwinter. Signing off!